Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to the Public Opinion Court, where the truth ain't reality, but opinions are. I am making a special live appearance on a Sunday. I know we had the time for 10:15. It was really 8:15 Central Standard Time, but we put it on West Coast time. So my apologies for messing up the time, but this was an emergency. This was an emergency for me to go live regarding the Bravo $20 million lawsuit with Britt Eady. And let me tell you why. I've done a reality TV show before. So I know, hi Esler, I know that this lawsuit was a scheme that Britt Eady set up that is not going to survive. I've been seeing so many bloggers and influencers go in on the analysis of this case. And if you know about the Public Opinion Court, we're going to bring the law and make it make sense. So I would tell you, I was looking at Kempire, Kempire, and I was looking at I looked at Carlos King's breakdown. I looked at Kempire's. I looked at Don Juan, Candy's manager. I was like, okay, now it's time for somebody, not only someone that has done reality TV as a lawyer, but someone that understands the basis of what defamation is. Yes, you are on time. You are on time. So listen, y'all. This is a very, very interesting lawsuit. We've seen this lawsuit happen with Bravo. We've seen it with Nene. We've seen it with Mariah. We've seen it with so many individuals who have sued Bravo. So I'm just going to say, if Britt Eady thought for 1 second that she was going to create a scheme to set up Bravo so that she can get paid, baby, you got another thing coming. You're going to have to find another job. I know your insurance license is allegedly on hold, but baby girl, and you ain't going to be on Bravo anymore or any other network. She has literally ruined her ability to ever be on anyone's TV. Now she can go to Zeus. She can go to Now That's TV. Those are the two that I know she can definitely go to, because her lawsuit is BS. It is BS. And I want y'all to chime in with any questions, like anything that you want to know about this situation, because she did this as a PR stunt. I'm going to just go ahead and say she did this as a PR stunt, and it is going to hit her so hard that she's going to wish that she took accountability. Britt Eady is a newcomer on The Real Housewives. She received her first peach. She received a peach for Sweet 16. I never thought that she was a good fit. Listen, I like Tommy. As of Atlanta, she knew that she was going to become a public figure. She knew that she needed to disclose everything about her background to them. And you know how I know? Because they asked us questions. When I did reality TV, before I dive into it, I just want to give y'all this nugget. When I did reality TV, and mind you, I'm a lawyer. I have done entertainment agreements. I have the experience to represent myself to a certain extent. Baby, that exam, that psych exam and that background exam, those questions that they have you answer, I was falling asleep because it was so many. But I did not forget the background. They ask you for information to disclose it so that they can have it, so that they can know and be aware. She didn't do that. She didn't do it. So let's get into Miss BRIT EADY, the Real Housewives of Atlanta lawsuit. Now, y'all know I like to create these slides so that y'all can get it and I can give it to you the way it needs to be done, because defamation, the burden of defamation, you got to show how this information has damaged you in the way that the law states. She also has alleged intentional infliction of emotional distress. That's a higher burden that I know she's not going to be able to overcome. And most of the times when people put intentional infliction of emotional distress, they do it as a catch-all. If you look at Jay-Z's lawsuit, he did not put intentional infliction of emotional distress because he has a competent lawyer that knows that that's going to be a waste of time because the court will automatically dismiss it. If your attorney brings it to the court's attention, they're going to require their attorney to prove how it rises to that level. She alleges sexual harassment. None of this is going to stick for her. And once I uncover why, you're going to be like, this girl is really a fake victim. So I know I'm being funny with this title. The Bravo lawsuit is the scheme that Britt EADY set up and will lose. Y'all remember Bertha Candy's Candy's aunt that said this is a scheme set up by Todd to give us the BS. So I just did that because I thought it was funny. So let's get into it. Hold on, let me go back. Let me make it bigger. So Britt EADY pulled the trigger, and I feel like Kenya ultimately paid the price. So Britt EADY publicly stated, this is some of the things that we're going to dive into with her history on the Housewives before we get into the legal aspect so that y'all can be well versed. Britt EADY publicly stated she keeps a gun. She says she keeps a gun. Hold on, let me see if I can. Hold on. I'm trying to make it to where y'all can see. Okay. Or is it this one? No, I'm going to take it back to this one. Let me just move this over. During filming, she allegedly told Kenya, not that she told Kenya, because she didn't tell Kenya. Kenya heard her when she said that she had a pistol. That ultimately led to Kenya doing what she did to Britt EADY with the alleged Kenya Moore hair care grand opening debacle. Bravo ultimately picked Britt EADY's side because when you look at the two, when somebody is talking about a pistol and a weapon, and in your investigation, you allow this person to leave the premises without searching their vehicle, that is a problem for Bravo. I see Kenya with more of a claim because of that physical threat that she heard and filed a police report on. Britt lied to Bravo about her gun ownership and threats. The girl lied, and I'm finna show you her lying. Her deception led Bravo to make a decision that increased their own liability. And what I mean by that, when she lied and said, basically, she never said that, and she does not keep a gun. And when they did not do what they were supposed to do to protect Kenya, Britt should have been removed immediately. She should never have been filming for the remainder of the season. She should have been terminated. That's why their decision to keep her created a liability. They should have just fired her, and they would not be in this situation. So here are the allegations for her $20 million Bravo lawsuit, the scheme that BRIT EADY set up to sue Bravo to get some money. The allegations are a graphic sexual photo was aired that allegedly implied it was her. Claimed she was underage at the time of the photo, which she did. Just stupid. Claims the image caused emotional distress and public embarrassment. How can an image that was never seen cause emotional distress and embarrassment? We're going to talk about it. Says it cost her reputation and her professional insurance license. That is a lie. The insurance license she stated on TV, it was already deactivated. That had nothing to do with Kenya. The lies just keep coming. She accuses Bravo of refusing her request to see the images pre-airing, and there are steps that she did not take, because I feel like just like she didn't want to donate, she only donated $250 to the cause in Grenada after they had to ask her for it, when she proclaims to be this multi whatever. She ain't had no money. She ain't had no money to have a lawyer do that. She ain't had no money. So let's go into the actual video, y'all, because I want y'all to see the video to see, did she lie or didn't she?
Oh my God. Girl, for a second.
All right. No, we're not done. We're not done. We're still catching this moment. Okay, because it's a vibe. It's a vibe. Hold on. Let me find my husband first. You want to compliment
I have so many things, though. This is a lot.
I still got my pistol, so I'm still nervous.
Girl, Kenny's here. We were.
Did she say something? Did she say that she had some on her? Did she say she had some heat? Hold on, let me run it on back. Let me run it on back.
I have so many things, though. This is a lot.
I still got my pistol, so I'm still nervous.
Girl, Kenny's here. We were.
Okay, can I put this in my car? What are we doing?
I don't know.
I was almost. I knew I should have just ran. Okay, thank you.
You ready? Yeah.
I just want to put this down.
Comfortable with you. Somebody find my husband. Where you at, baby?
Can I put mine here? I don't think my car is here.
You know? Okay, well, you want to get in?
Yeah.
Okay, baby, I'm ready. I had to let that bitch know. Don't play with me, bitch.
She's good.
Everything's fine. Everything's cool. Everything's good. Kenya, hello, ditzy ass. Like, bitch, play that shit in front of the cameras. Don't play that with me. I don't play them games.
Black girl magic?
I don't play them games. I got whip, pistols, everything. Play that shit in front of them cameras.
Hold on. Did she say something else? Did she reiterate? Hold on. Because I think people's memory get a little foggy when they try to leap. Hold on.
Cameras, don't play that with me. I don't play them games.
Black girl magic?
I don't play them games. I got whip, pistols, everything. Play that shit in front of them cameras. Don't play that with me. They need to come take this shit off. I'm not playing with her. Do all that fake Hollywood shit. No, this is real life. This is real life. This is real life. I don't play them type of games. You're going to be respectful. No peasants. You're going to be respectful around here. And if you don't know, you're going to learn today. Today is the day you're going to learn. Oh, these bitches, I don't play these games.
Kenya, you riding with us? Oh, you going now?
Yeah,
Oh, sure. I'm sitting in the back.
you can drive me. I miss Daisy.
I got you, honey.
She's just one of those type of people where she wants to keep poking and being dismissive, being manipulative.
Where you got thongs back here?
Where you see a thong?
Look.
Oh, yeah, she said thongs. Nah, don't act like I got some hoochie mama dirty thongs back there.
She talking about guns. For real?
That gun.
She was talking about I still got my pistol on me. This girl is a problem.
Did we hear anything? Did we hear anything? Hold on. I got something else for y'all. I got something else. Just in case her words don't make sense.
Would carry a weapon or a whip or anything like that.
The wine's right there.
So
Guys, have I seen a weapon in her possession before? Yes.
Clock it here.
But I can't tell you that was towards someone. I mean,
let me run that back, because when your friend have to come out and say that.
Did you know her to be someone who would carry a weapon or a whip or anything like that?
The wine's right there.
guys, have I seen a weapon in her possession before? Yes.
Clock it here.
But I can't tell you that was towards someone. I mean,
Now let's run the lie. Let's run the lie that she told on Watch What Happens Live.
Weapons are not allowed on set. It was determined that you didn't violate that policy. So now watching it back, why did you say it, and what do you think about it now?
You know what? I still beat myself up. Just the fact that I allowed her to trigger me. So it's just, there's no excuse for what I did, for what I said. And it was the heat of the moment. I'm in a rough neighborhood. I'm always used to having my husband by my side. And I felt attacked. And I was triggered by Kenya. And I was talking with Kelly on the side, like, you know how girls hype each other up or whatever. Yeah. And it was a side convo. I was talking with Kelly, and I mentioned a pistol, which I never should have. And I was wrong.
Since you had left Kenya's event at the salon early,
I want to draw y'all attention to something she said, and this is something that Andy did not pick up on. Only people that have the ability to chop up somebody's statement. Why did she say she's in a rough neighborhood? What does being in a rough neighborhood have to do with you saying the word pistol? You know why she said she's a rough neighborhood? Because she had a gun in that vehicle. Let me run that back.
Her to trigger me. So I still beat myself up. Just the fact that I allowed her to trigger me. So it's just, there's no excuse for what I did, for what I said. And it was the heat of the moment. I'm in a rough neighborhood. I'm always used to.
What does being in a rough neighborhood have to do with you threatening a gun to be exposed on your coworker? Those are key words, and I don't think they paid attention to that. Because I would have clocked it. I would have said, well, what does a rough neighborhood have to do with you now saying you shouldn't have said something? Okay, cool.
having my husband by my side, and I felt attacked, and I was triggered by Kenya, and I was talking with Kelly on the side, like, you know how girls hype each other up or whatever, and it was a side convo. I was talking with Kelly, and I mentioned a pistol, which I never should have, and I was wrong.
Since you had left Kenya's event at the salon early, did you, I'm assuming you watched last week's episode, how do you think you would have reacted if you had stayed in the room?
You know what? I felt she wanted me to be at that event, considering she never uninvited me.
Okay.
And the fact that she conjured up these images, photos, went to Kinko's, printed them out. It's like, see, it's the spirit of Kenya.
Okay,
that is something different.
Okay, go on.
So, you know, it's just the fact that she wanted me to be there. And you know what? We'll put this in later.
Okay. What did the card from your flowers that Kelly tried to save say?
I had a personal conversation in the car just saying, Kenya, I'm sorry. I wish I would have never done it. And, you know, let's try to move forward. And so that was just really it. I wanted her to know how genuine I was because I made a mistake. And I wanted her to really know that I'm not a violent.
Okay, let's get back to the truth. Let's get back to the truth of the lies and the scheme that BRIT EADY set up to sue Bravo. So I highlighted some of her lies. First, I never did that type of work. And what she means by that is when she first discovered that there may be something related to sexual videos or photos, she lied and said, I have no idea what that is. I've never, ever. Then she owned up and said, oh, I was just a webcam model. Y'all do know what webcam models are. What they do for OnlyFans. Now, it has advanced to OnlyFans. So you do what you need to do with that imagination. Oh, she scrubbed the internet to remove all of these things. Remember, she said she had no idea. But how do you scrub the internet from these images that you never knew anything about? Then, when it's the video, oh, it was something I did with my partner, but she said she was underage. She said she was underage. Another lie. Then she says, that wasn't me in the photo. That's what she just stated this past week. When she took the scheme to set up Bravo to sue them. Then she claimed her insurance license was suspended because of what Kenya did. But allegedly it was already suspended before you even started filming. You ain't had no job or no business. So let me see if I can pull this up a little bigger, because she made this. This is what I tell people. Anything you say, post, send, or receive can and will be used against you. So in her post, she says in Georgia, the distribution of sexually explicit images without the consent of the person depicted is considered a criminal offense. Under Georgia law, the offense of unlawful disclosure of intimate images, also known as revenge porn, is covered, and she gives the statute. The law makes it illegal to distribute sexually explicit images or videos of another person without their consent and with the intent to harm, harass, intimidate, or coerce the person depicted. Girl, Diddy did not do this to you. Diddy was not a part of this. Diddy didn't do nothing to you. Violating Georgia's revenge porn law is a misdemeanor punishable by a fine up to $1,000 and imprisonment up to a year, or both. Girl, ain't nobody do nothing to you. That never should have been posted because you were not underage. And also, you came out of your own mouth and said, I was a webcam model. I knew about this tape with my ex. Girl, please. This is a scheme that BRIT EADY set up to sue Bravo. Girl, why did you? No lawyer told you to post that. But she posted this, y'all, before she made the admissions. Now let's talk about what her lawyers didn't do correctly. So when she's talking about the fact that they should have never aired the episode, that could be the case. But when you are in a reality television show, there are protocols that you yourself have to follow to protect yourself. You literally sign away your ability to control your narrative. How? Because I know. I did it. I read the contract, and the contract was not short. It took me, I had to break up my own reality TV contract and separate it and read it in parts. And sometimes read it over and over and over again. But I got it right, though. I made them go in to make some changes, I'll tell you that. But they weren't big changes. It was just something very minor about intellectual property. What her lawyer should have done that they did not do, they have the ability to file what is a temporary restraining order. That could have been used to block the episode from coming out. They could have done that as soon as the incident occurred and leading up to the episode being aired to everyone. That's how you get that information. Now, I do believe, because I need to change it, I do believe that they sent a correspondence to preview the images. But listen at this. The contract does not give you any power to see anything outside of using the court, which you should have used the court. You cannot say, oh, I'm going to send this notice. You have to operate differently in the space of entertainment. How they were moving, they think, oh, well, a formal email letter from an attorney is going to correct it. I can guarantee you that whatever legal person that drew that up do not have experience in this particular area. Because the entertainment lawyers I know that this route is what they would have taken. I also know that this may be a rookie in this industry, not saying that they are bad. There is, because she filed for defamation, intentional infliction, and sexual harassment. In order to seek additional damages, you have to send within 30 days. No, is it within 90 days? Within 90 days of the defamation or the intentional infliction, you got to send within 90 days a retraction letter telling them, hey, this episode right here, I need you to remove it and retract and put out a statement. I'm giving you 30 days. That letter, and if they don't respond or don't adhere, you can utilize that in your suit to elevate portions of your damages. That ain't happen. It ain't happen at all. I can guarantee you that didn't happen. Also, they ignored the mandatory arbitration clause. This is the most hilarious part right here. Almost every reality TV agreement has an arbitration clause. You know why? Because it saves money, it saves time. It also is more favorable for them to go to arbitration. You know how I know? Let me show you how I know. Hold on, let me pull something up for y'all. Let me remove this. I'm gonna bring it back. But let me pull something up since I do have experience in doing reality TV. Let me take y'all on to the good old language. Hold on, I don't know if y'all can see that. I'm gonna just have to read it for y'all because I don't think y'all can see that. There's them words little. And you know, the older I'm getting, the worse my eyesight is becoming. And I ain't even gonna hold you because I ain't even gonna let y'all squint like that. So let me open it and read it from my end. So the page that I'm showing y'all on page 13, and this is from my entertainment, my reality TV show agreement. It has Exhibit D, agreement to mediate and arbitrate. Almost every reality TV agreement has this, and they have the ability to either for mediation or arbitration. There is a clause. It gives you everything. It says commencement of arbitration procedures. They go through AAA. AAA is one of the national arbitration associations. You know how I know? I used to work for AAA arbitration. I used to work for them. As soon as I got out of law school, waiting on bar results, I worked for them. There has to be a notice of arbitration that is sent. So what her lawyer should have done, I just wanted y'all to see that to show y'all that, yeah, that's how they operate. What they should have done is initiated arbitration. They did not because they wanted to use this for publicity. This was a PR stunt. They know doggone well that they are supposed to go to arbitration. But if you go to arbitration, you can't really talk about it. So if you want to piss Bravo off, you do it the way that Britt Eady did it. Her lawyer should have never advised her where there's an arbitration clause. And I'm only speaking if there's an arbitration clause. They should have never advised her to go this route. It's not going to end well. Because I'm going to tell you like this. If I'm Bravo, big bad Bravo, big bad Truly, I'm going to ask the court for sanctions. I'm going to ask the court to sanction her attorneys because there's a mandatory arbitration clause, and they did this for a PR stunt. Yeah. When Bravo truly submit their motion to dismiss? If I'm them, I'm asking for sanctions. Since y'all want to play in the media, let's play in the court where it belongs. Because they did not do this for the long game. I can tell this was a rookie. This was a rookie mistake. Britt had a responsibility. Like I told y'all, when I did reality TV, I had to disclose. Because anything you do not have the ability to allow the network to control it. She never disclosed her webcam or her adult content past. She was denying it on the show. Did not mention a leaked sex tape. And you know how? Because she went and tried to erase it from the internet. You never erase anything from the internet. Apparently, it's on a porn site. I don't know. I didn't go and check. That is indication, girl, you knew. And you lied. So Bravo in that has no way of verifying if you are a reformed porn star or webcam girl. But now she blames Bravo for airing content when she did not warn them. Make it make sense. This girl is a professional victim. Let's read her post. It's never a good feeling being targeted or hazed by someone I thought would embrace me into a new circle that I never met. For the record, I've never once had possession of any weapon or threatened anyone ever. I've never even been to jail. Girl, what does that got to do with it? In a fight or even had much of as a speeding ticket. That is not my character. I'm hurt by the narrative that is being displayed. Wrong is wrong. You know what else is wrong, Britt? You know what else is wrong? Let's talk about it.
Surrounding.
What's up, baby?
Oh my God. Bye for a second. All right. No, we're not done. We're not done. We're still catching this moment. Okay, because it's a vibe. It's a vibe. Hold on. Let me find my husband first.
I have so many things, though. This is a lot.
I mean, I still got my pistol, so I'm still nervous.
Girl, Kenny.
I've never ever once had possession of any weapons or threatened anyone ever. Liar, liar, pants on fire. This was a scheme that Britt Eady set up to sue Bravo. Britt Eady was a liability from the beginning because of her dangerous display of her behavior on and off camera. When she threatened Kenya with gun violence during filming, when she lied about it during the investigation, then ultimately admitted to it, that is someone that cannot be trusted. Bravo, in my opinion, acted off of fake information and removed Kenya for her behavior and not Britt Eady. The cast confirmed the threats. Kenya filed a police report. Britt has not filed a police report. You know why? Because she does not have the ability to. She consented to being a webcam girl, which means that all your web images will be used. Anybody can get access to it and you cannot sue them. Why do you think she doesn't have Kenya in the lawsuit? I think that was another negligent mistake on her attorney's behalf. Kenya would have most definitely been in that lawsuit, but she can't put her in there. This is not even a legitimate lawsuit in itself. So let's talk about what is defamation. Defamation is when a false statement made to a third party that causes reputational harm. It has to be intentional. It has to be knowingly. And it could also fall into reckless, but it has to rise to that standard. Truth is a defense. Bravo's truth is their defense. Her own contradictions undermines her claim of defamation. She kept filming after the alleged incident. When I said she should have, at that moment, stopped filming, got her lawyer to issue a TRO so that they can get access, she was not worried about that. She was thirsty for the peach. She wanted the peach. She did not care about her past coming up. She knew about it. She tried to erase her past. She wanted the peach. Everybody wants the peach. Everybody wants the peach. The peach is a lucrative venture for those who are authentic and don't lie and show up as themselves. I want her, she's going to have to prove how her reputation was damaged. You know how you do that? You have to show that you missed out on certain deals, people canceled. It's not going to be your insurance company because your insurance license was already allegedly. She harmed her own reputation when she threatened Kenya with the gun. She was making all these defaming statements about her castmates. She showed up like that and people recognized fake. What is intentional infliction of emotional distress? It requires outrageous. The burden is high. Intentional conduct that causes severe distress. Baby, she was going on promo after promo, couch after couch, venue after venue, look after look, shading the hell out of Kenya. How much distress can you be in if you are on tour? Talking about a woman that is not talking about you. Girl, wasn't nothing wrong with you. They definitely won't be able to prove that. She kept filming, like I said. I want to see if she's going to be able to produce some medical records, as in a therapist. Standard editorial conduct does not meet legal threshold. And what I mean by that is people posting it, that's not going to meet the legal threshold. You're going to have to show how that harmed you. And what I would do if I'm Bravo, I'm going to look at her Instagram. I'm going to see how many followers she had before and after. If your following grew, I am going to dive so deep up in that girl's birth canal that she is not going to understand how I know how many eggs she got. That's how far Bravo better be going. Because this is a waste of time. A waste of time. And when I say intentional infliction is so high, it is high. It's higher than the highest person when they take a mixture of the Diddy Cocoa Puff. That's how high. And it's just not a level she will ever meet. Sexual harassment must be unwanted sexual conduct affecting participation. That means that you got to target this person. They cannot target someone that never disclosed that they were doing sexual things on the internet. She was definitely not targeted. The images were blurred, if that means anything. And she consented to still film. Y'all, when I tell you this girl, and she would not be able to show that there was a hostile harassment, any hostile harassment established. Oh, guys. Grasping for straws. This was a scheme that BRIT EADY set up to sue Bravo. Let me go to this video. I want y'all to see this video from Kempire.
Of willfully, intentionally, recklessly, and or with gross negligence producing, editing, and airing the episode. I told you when this happened, I said, well, it's 3 weeks in. I don't see Bravo necessarily including it unless it's a lackluster season. Because at the end of the day, it put them in a very vulnerable spot legally. And this is coming from someone that's not an attorney. All the attorneys weigh in. Am I talking out of my you-know-what? So she says, on information and belief, defendants knew that the photograph did not depict plaintiff, or at least were recklessly or grossly negligent in failing to learn that the photograph did not depict plaintiff.
Kempire, you are, but it's not your fault. It's not your fault. Like I've stated over and over again, Britt had a duty to disclose this information. She had a responsibility to have her attorney seek a TRO. She signed away any ability for control, to know, to see anything. They don't have to send anything that has any depiction of body parts. It's illegal. That's why she needed to go and get a TRO. She's wrong. And I can guarantee you, Bravo's lawyers was already up ahead of it. This is not something that they're going to just be like, oh, let me not seek legal counsel.
It claims that despite Edie's repeated requests that she's been shown the photograph before the episode aired, defendants refused to do so. I don't know why they would refuse to show her that. The Independent did contact NBC Universal.
Because they do not have a legal obligation to do so. They do not have a legal obligation to show someone what could be nudity. It's illegal. She also had a duty to disclose. She did not. She also had a duty to file a TRO. She did not. She didn't want to spend that money. She didn't want to pay that lawyer.
So Bravo and the production companies, in regards to this, they have not received a comment yet. Edie is seeking the immediate removal of the episode from the public access on all platforms, networks, and media outlets in the defendant's control, as well as a public statement from the defendants that Moore's comments about Edie and the explicit photographs shown were false. She is also seeking a monetary award to be determined at trial, punitive damages, and legal fees. Should defendants fail to appear herein, judgment will be entered by default for the sum of not less than $20 million with interest and the costs and fees of this action, the filing states. Well, NBC Universal's legal is already all over this. They're not going to have any sort of default judgment happen here. Here's my thoughts. First of all, is BRIT EADY wrong? Technically, no, because as I said before, and go back and see my recaps when the episodes aired. I said, I'm shocked that Bravo decided to air these episodes. It said to me that the season was probably going to be lackluster because they decided to keep in. Mind you, this happened in the first 3 weeks of filming. They filmed for 3 months. It said to me that they had a lackluster season, so they decided to keep it in. And now I think, again, I don't know if she has an arbitration agreement in her contract, which means that she can't sue them. She has to take it to mediation. One thing that I've noticed about BRIT EADY, and look, as I want to give her grace, I want to take out the whole of what I think of her. Sidebar, I'm pretty sure she probably has in her contract an arbitration agreement, which means that you really can't take this to court. You have to go to arbitration, similar to what NeNe Leakes signed. I'm not sure if she has it in her contract. I'm not privy to BRIT EADY's contracts. But it wouldn't shock me that she has an arbitration agreement. And I'm sure Bravo, NBC Universal Legal will remind her of that and have this dismissed, and they will go into arbitration. One thing I do know is that a lot of the housewives have signed in their contracts arbitration agreements. But okay, based on what I'm seeing in this report.
What did I say about arbitration? What did I say about arbitration? Yes, it's definitely in there. She definitely did this for a PR stunt. That is not going to end well for her. She has ruined her ability to be on any other network other than Zeus, and now that's TV. No other network is going to touch her.
She's not suing Kenya Moore because, again, she's going to sue where she believes the money resides. The big money, because she's suing for $20 million. So I want to go directly to the Independent who had their hands on the lawsuit. It wouldn't shock me that this lawsuit was sent to them or to several media outlets. So the Independent writes this. It said, Real Housewives of Atlanta star Britt EADY has sued Bravo for $20 million, accusing the network of defamation, intentional infliction of emotional distress, sexual harassment, and fostering a hostile work environment. Well, let me tell you something here. Bravo, and we said this since the beginning of the season, you should have kept this out of the season.
They did not have to keep it out of the season. Kempire, I appreciate your asking for people within the profession that these type of issues resides. They did not have to keep this out. Not one bit. If she wanted this out, she needed to file a TRO. Just like she didn't want to get that money to that charity, she didn't want to get that money to that lawyer, just like she wanted to lie on that event person. The girl plays the victim.
I think if you had kept it out of the season, you probably could have protected yourself even more. The way that Bravo handled this, and all you human resources experts and directors and managers, please wait in the comment section and let me know your thoughts. The way that Bravo handled this, I don't care what side of the fence you're on when it comes to this situation or this incident. The way Bravo handled this, even including this in the season, I was like, this is a HR nightmare. I feel as if she has a case because I felt like Bravo.
She does not have a case, Kempire. I love to be the bearer of bad news in this because it was a scheme that BRIT EADY set up to sue Bravo because she did not film well. She got backlash for her threats. She got backlash for her aggressive behavior. She got backlash for lying on Charles Oakley. The girl, and I'm pretty sure we're going to see her talking about Shamia's daughter, her daughter that has a disability, her precious baby girl. So she does not have a case. But anybody can sue. Let me Remind y'all, anybody can sue. Anybody can go file a lawsuit. It can be the most ridiculous, baseless thing ever. But it's what you can prove. She did this to herself. Let me tell you why. When she insulted Kenya and she lied to producers, she attacked castmates aggressively. She was an angry Black woman. That is an angry Black woman. She accused Angela's husband of cheating and having a side baby. That's defamation. She went on promo. I told you she went from seat to seat, couch to couch, promo tour at this world. What drama? What trauma that she had? What trauma? Baby girl, she contradicted herself several times. She used this lawsuit as a PR stunt, I'm telling you. And it's her own behavior that ruined her reputation, not Bravo. Bravo is not who she wants to play with in the court. Not with this sloppy display of a lawsuit rollout. Let me tell you how Bravo mitigated. They mitigated when Kenya was removed from filming to reduce conflict. They investigated the issue. The footage was blurred out. And the fact that they had no knowledge because you failed to tell them. And the fact that she lied to production. When you don't tell them about your background, when you also say you didn't threaten anybody with a gun, baby, that's a threat. That's a threat. And Kenya perceived it as such, which is why a police report was filed. You didn't file one. Now, in another way that she's going to lose is because there's an arbitration clause. Bravo contracts include mandatory arbitration. Reality TV contracts typically include mandatory arbitration. That means disputes must be handled privately through an arbitrator not in the public court, or like my channel, the public opinion court. These clauses are legally binding. Once signed, you waive your right to sue in most cases. So you want to know why I keep saying that she used this as a PR stunt? Is because she knows that there's an arbitration clause. She knows this. That's not a secret. Her lawyer knows this. Britt Eady's legal team either ignored or misunderstood basic entertainment contract law. The arbitration clause alone could get this lawsuit dismissed without a hearing. Do y'all see how much of a joke she continues to be? And she's hurting her own case. Whenever you sign a contract with Bravo, you are, just like when I talk to y'all about my stint on reality TV, there's an image release waiver. There's an editorial discretion rights to the network. She ignored the arbitration process and filed a public lawsuit. You are adding to what you are stating that is emotional distress when now you're going to be laughed at in a public opinion court. You did that. When she filed, by doing so, you don't even exhaust the arbitration remedies. That shows poor legal strategy or an attempt to create headlines. I'm never wrong when it comes to that. And judges will frequently dismiss cases outright. This is, when I say rookie legal mistake, it's a rookie legal mistake. When you lie to your employer, you make threats and then you cry victim. You missed retraction deadlines that could have elevated any potential damages. You didn't seek an injunction. You contradicted your own past statements. You kept filming. Your case is dead. There was no TRO filed to stop the episode before airing. You didn't even try to attempt to go to arbitration. That could have happened during or before the season. There was no legal motion to compel image review or clarify contractual rights. So I am literally telling y'all what they did not do, which is the reason why she is going to lose. So I need y'all to do me a favor, tag Kempire, Kempire, in the comments to let him know, like, hey, we need you to come over here. You asked for a legal analysis or assessment. Britt has so many issues with her case. She's going to lose just off the strength of it. Off the strength. I got one more video for y'all from Don Juan.
And Bravo parted ways over, we have found out now, are not, per BRIT EADY, her. She didn't see them then, but since she has now seen the photos, they are not her, is what she is saying. We're going to break this down like a lesson. The first part of this is, Bravo did an investigation. If Bravo did an investigation, did they not see these photos? I mean, I understand they wouldn't want to look at the photos, but if you investigated, then you had to look at what was brought to see how obscene it was or how it depicted somebody or what it was. Like, you had to see that. So, first, did Bravo look at these photos? Second of all, she's saying that these photos were not her. The other part to that, for you to, at points, you said you did not do that kind of content. But you thought the photos were you. So you had to do some kind of content that you thought could have been you in the photos. But now you are finding out that the photos were of someone else and not even you. And you were about to lose your license that you questionably don't have as a broker and as an insurance agent. But we find out later, now, today, that these photos are not even you. I'm gonna let this sink in with y'all.
And listen, y'all, I'm gonna let that sink in too. I literally just wanted to get on here and break this down for y'all. So if there are any fans of ROHA, and just to understand how defamation cases are brought, especially when you have such a massive production and network company, she's not going to prevail. She literally should have taken her L because they were not going to bring her back. She was too much a liability. You let Kenya go for that. You failed Kenya for that. You didn't protect Kenya for that. They mitigated your damages. They mitigated for you. But this is a scheme that BRIT EADY set up to sue Bravo. So listen, as we come to an end, tell me what you think about this in the comments, whether you do it live or you come back. Please tell me what you think about her case. Do you think that if she got one, or do you think this is just a scheme? Do you think she's being salty? Is she bitter? Is she a victim? And should she just move on? Yeah, it's over for her. It's over. Well, thank y'all for joining. Make sure before you leave, you like always, you can follow me at Lawyer Bay SQ, the Public Opinion Court. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can follow me on Instagram, not Instagram, but TikTok, the Public Opinion Court. I also offer business consulting services at the BYOB firm, where you can book your consultation for all my business owners. If you know a business owner, feel free to share. And just like always, I will be back tomorrow because we are going back to the ditty, the diddler, and I have a special guest. And we are on day 3 of Jane Doe. So with that being said, thank you for joining the Public Opinion Court in collaboration with the Real Life Street Stars. And as always, what the saying is, where the truth ain't reality, but opinions are. Y'all have an amazing evening. And share this video. Make sure you tag Kim Pyre, Dumb One. Make sure you send this to them so that they can respond.